Are you still into cooking as much as?
Yeah, but like we had
Because you got
said,
some
like
crazy background in it. First off,
in cooking, yeah.
how much time did you spend with that chef?
Oh, Angelo
Yeah,
Sosa?
yeah.
Not as much
So
as
he
I'd
was a
like to,
Top
but we're
Chef,
still
Iron Chef.
friends.
Was he
Yeah.
a Top Chef on Iron Chef, or how's it work? Is
He was
Top
a
Chef a different thing
judge
than Iron Chef?
on Top Chef.
Got
And
it.
then he was
And
also
he
a
was in Iron Chef.
contestant. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. So
No,
Chef
that one's
Angelo
that one's for
Sosa.
sure. I know he
Okay.
was a
I was
contestant
like,
in
I'm
Iron
pretty
Chef.
sure I looked it up before.
Yeah.
But he also has his own apron line, which is really awesome. Just a little shout out, AOS by Sosa. He's a really cool guy. He's got a son with some disabilities, which I'm not gonna, share his story on here. But Angelo's got a really big heart, and he taught me. I've been in the restaurant industry for a lot of my life, and at one point I was a server, and I was looking to be a little bit more back of the house, so like cook, prep, something like that, because I really enjoy it. However, I was refusing to work with animal products. I was like, I'm not going to learn how to cook a steak. What the hell am I going to use that for? And I'm going to end up losing my job because I'm going to end up talking shit the whole time. So I'm like, I better find a plant-based place. And I'm like, well, I haven't been to culinary school. I don't, I feel like I'm qualified in the way of creation, like creativity, but like I don't really have a piece of paper proving that. I just have an Instagram account. And at the time, I was posting a hell of a lot more recipes. And so this place was hiring in Poway, and they said they needed someone to help with small bites and snacks. Like it was like not a full restaurant. I'm like, perfect, because I don't want to develop a whole menu right now. And I thought I was going to be developing. So Angelo Sosa helped start this restaurant. He was a partial investor. He did recipe development and like taught me. So I worked right underneath him. So I mean, I technically can't call yourself a chef if you haven't been to culinary school, but that was kind of the position I was taking on. And so then after he left, I was able, they gave me full freedom to like, here, just create something. I'm like, okay. And so I would just mix a bunch of stuff. But the thing was, like, I wasn't really so used to measuring a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, this sounds good, and just throw everything in a pot.
You eye it.
But now I'm doing it on a large scale. So I went from my little pot at home to like this drum, right?
Yeah, you can't eye that.
I tried, and
shouldn't.
a couple times it worked. But for the most part, yeah. So I ended up really learning how to follow recipes more. And I'm just lazy. Like I just didn't want to I feel like if you're not baking, like baking matters, cooking doesn't matter. As long as you don't put too much salt, you can fix it. Like just add more of everything else. But yeah, so I went from there, and I was going to school full time, and I was working with Specialty Produce, but not an official hire. I was doing recipes for them, and I basically, I'd come in, do some shopping, and create a recipe with their food, tag it on Instagram, allow them to repost it, whatever. And they would give me a discount to do that. And after about a year of that, while I was working at the little cafe, the owner here offered me a job. And I was like, doing what? And he's like, audio production and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I have no experience in audio at all. I have experience with computers. I was a computer science major when I went to Santa Monica College a while back. I was a math major when I went to school here. But so, I have that kind of analytical mind, but like, what? And it's actually much easier now that I know how to do it. But yeah, so I've been here for a little over a year now, officially. But I've been working with the company for like 2 maybe. So yeah, it's
so
like
cool.
the summary of everything put together.
Yeah, and until super recently, I didn't know that you produced all of you said
Super
13, 14?
Well, we had 17 podcasters. We just had a couple that we've phased out. And so I think we're at 14 right now. So
you do Dine Local?
Yeah.
So there was the guy that runs Craft and Commerce. Did you help with that show?
Yes.
Do you know that conglomerate I'm talking about? Have you seen their lineup?
Very little.
Oh my
No.
God, they have none of them are vegan restaurants, but a lot of famous bars and some of the most popular drop-offs for Uber and Lyft is like at a lot of the places, and they had like 12 restaurants and bars that they've launched in the last like 7 years. I'm like, oh my goodness.
If I looked at the list, I would know a lot of those names.
It was Swine and Soda and Swine.
Yeah, Soda and Swine.
The Neighborhood and Noble Experiment. Which, have you ever been to the Noble Experiment?
No.
Well, you will probably never go because it's a bar. But But you know what? I don't know. It's cool because it's like it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you go and you say, "Hey, I want in," and they take you to this wall that is a wall of kegs, and then they reach for one of the ledges and then open up this wall, and it's a fake wall, false wall.
Right. I
And
got
then you
that.
walk into this speakeasy called the Noble Experiment.
Oh my god.
It's cool. It's cool. You
I'd
could
be down to
probably
check it
yeah,
out.
you could probably go in and just look because there's a cool wall with gold skulls in there.
I
But
should know this. So Specialty Produce caters to 80% of San Diego restaurants. So we
that's
get
just so wild.
know.
That's so wild.
It's crazy, and we still have that small company vibe.
I
which
was
is
even
what
gonna
I
say that
love.
this isn't even like a massive place.
No, there's a lot of employees because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't see. But
Yeah, you must be cycling through
24 hours.
stuff like crazy.
The entire warehouse full of produce is completely turned over every 3 days.
No way. Oh my
Minus a
God.
couple of the like more rare things like jackfruit or whatever. But that's such a small section.
Which is not going to be rare for that much longer.
I know. The hardest thing with jackfruit is it doesn't grow like it grows close here. It grows in Mexico, like a little bit further south.
It's just heavy.
They're heavy.
It's heavy as heck.
They
so like
are.
is I don't know if shipping's expensive for it. How does it work with that?
Yeah, and I mean anytime
You think
you're
they're like
shipping
tedious to
food-
prep? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh God, they are.
Yeah.
I've broken down a few jackfruits before, and I mean you got to have an old knife, you got to have gloves. I mean they are messy, but you know if you have a day to.
Yeah, no, I my dad just had a birthday and right? Oh no, maybe it was for Father's Day. I forget which one it was because
Celebration.
they're super close together.
Yeah,
and
same with mine actually.
and his wife made jackfruit a jackfruit dish, and we had like a Mexican
Yes. Like a-
style. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, jackfruit makes a great substitution for like carnitas or you can marinate it in
Spork.
barbecue sauce. Spork.